Hello, we're Molly Mish. After 10 years exploring all there is to see in US, Canada, and Mexico, we built a camper out of a 4-wheel drive Mercedes Sprinter van and headed across the pond to continue our journeys in Europe. After enduring year-long self-imposed isolation in Croatia during the height of the pandemic, we are ready to resume our European adventures. This summer, we're headed to the Irish and British Isles, starting with the Republic of Ireland. Join us as we explore and discover the magic of the Emerald Isle. Good morning from, well, that's Mahon Falls over there. This is in the southern part of Ireland. We're probably about an hour or so, maybe half an hour to an hour east of Cork. We drove down from Dublin 2 days ago, halfway down to sort of where we were a few nights ago when we were at the bar, camping outside the bar at the parking lot. Last night we stayed at actually 2 nights ago we stayed at an actual campground. It was it's a farm with a campground, so full facilities, pretty nice, and we got topped off on water, dump all of our tanks. And then last night we came here. We saw this on Park for Night and it looked really cool, so we decided to give it a shot and drove up here. Really narrow roads, really narrow single lane roads that are two-way roads. So that's pretty much most of Europe though. You know, when you go to the smaller villages and more remote parts of any European country, that's what ends up happening. There are just not a lot of big wide open roads like you have in the US. In the US, even small tiny little towns, little cities have perfect roads. But here, it's kind of the charm, you know? There's a bigger parking lot down there. We considered parking there yesterday, but there were just a lot of people. There's a road that comes up the way we came in this way, and then it ends up at that parking lot, and then you go up the hill, and then you can keep going down that way, and I think it's a loop. It takes you back down over there. You can see the coast. So we're not that far from the coast. That's the Atlantic Ocean right there. But yesterday it was crazy windy. I mean, we were being blown around all over the place. I just sort of had accepted that was going to be the norm. That was going to be windy like that the whole time we're here. It is still, you know, there's still a good breeze, but not like yesterday. Yesterday we had windows cracked for a little ventilation. It was just whistling all night. We couldn't really fall asleep that easily because it was noisy from all the wind coming through the window cracks. But nice today. Today's gonna rain though. I think by 4 o'clock the forecast says it's gonna rain. So we're gonna try to do this hike. We're gonna try to do this hike to Mahon Falls in a little bit here. The cats are running around. They didn't like it yesterday because it was so windy. Today, they're running around a little bit. They're a bunch of sheep. I don't know if you can see them. They're painted blue on their back. I guess they're painted blue they're painted for various reasons. We've heard from a lot of people. Some of it's to sort of distinguish the herds from one another. Some people say it's to distinguish which ones are pregnant, which ones need certain types of work done on it, but almost every single one of them is painted with a little bit of blue, a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, and some on the neck. So they're just freely grazing around. Really nice spot for them, but that also means that you got this kind of stuff everywhere. Pellet poop. Irish sheep pellet poop everywhere. They don't smell though. I mean, they smell a little bit, but you get used to them. And they're not gross like the big cow pies that you step on. So it's not so bad. This is the kind of view I imagined for places like Ireland. It could take forever to get to places over there. So we'll see how much of it we'll get to do. Hopefully in the next few days, we're gonna be able to get to one of the first peninsulas on the Wild Atlantic Way. And we've been here 5 days now already, 4 or 5 days. I think this was our, let's see, first night in Hookhead, second night at the bar, third night at the harbor, Dunleary Harbor outside of Dublin, fourth night at the Moneyland Farms campground, and then fifth night here. This is our fifth night. So fifth night, sixth day. Can't believe we've been here almost a week. Tomorrow will be 7 days, 6 nights, 7 days. It'll be a week. So time definitely is gonna get by quickly before we know it here. So we gotta start seeing some more stuff. You can see a lot of hikers over there. There's a paved trail, so I think it'll be a pretty easy hike. And you can see the waterfall right there. It's not a long hike either, I don't think. So it should be a nice, easy day today. And probably spend another night here tonight. And it's gonna start to rain. Tomorrow we will probably head in towards Cork. Cork is supposed to be a cool town. Oh, and yesterday, we heard the news yesterday that US and EU citizens who are fully vaccinated can now enter the UK without quarantine, which is kind of big news because, you know, before you have to get a test before you enter UK, a test on the second day after you enter UK, quarantine for 10 days, and then you got to get a test at the end of quarantine. All of that on your dime. So that was the reason why going to UK was a no-brainer. From France, going to the UK is, relatively speaking, really cheap compared to the ferry that we pay to get here to Ireland. We would have just taken the channel tunnel into the UK, and then, you know, make our way around Scotland, maybe down to Ireland. But maybe ultimately we would have still taken a ferry to or from Ireland, just because we wouldn't have to drive all the way back. And I think a lot of the people who come to visit Ireland, UK in a camper van, they either just skip Ireland, Northern Ireland altogether and just do, you know, England, Wales, Scotland, and then go back in the channel. Or, you know, they come down, take the shore ferry to Ireland, do Ireland, and then ferry back from Ireland at a relatively expensive cost, which means that either way we were going to have to take a ferry from here anyways, because the alternative is to drive all the way back to take the channel. We're just not going to do that. So it looks like we're going to be allowed into the UK, and even without this new rule, it seemed like that there's not really a border control set up between Ireland and Northern Ireland anyways. So I think we would have been able to get through even without this rule change. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend maybe another 3 to 4 weeks here in Ireland, and then try to make our way into the UK. But today, Mahon Falls. We'll get ready and make our way down the trail. We'll probably leave the cats in here. There's not very many mice or birds to catch. Huh, twin? That's why she's hanging out in here, not outside. It's nice out. There's no people out there. You can go. Twin, you want to go? Toby's out there. Or are you gonna stay in here while we're gone? What do you think? Good girl. Mila? Yeah. Are you riding a motorcycle? Yeah. So why are you wearing a helmet?
I was gonna guide Mila and she was gonna close my eyes. What? I was gonna guide Mila.
Here's some of the blue sheep. Looks like they just got sheared. See the sheared marks on their fur? Here's some more sheep right here. Just hanging out, side of the road grazing. Don't mind us. There's a baby.
Aw, baby.
Look how many cars there are down there. There's at least one other camper. So I'm glad we stayed up here last night. I don't know if that guy stayed down there or not. There's actually a full-size camper and then a high-top van. So they could both be staying there.
There's a little trailer like that.
Little trailer there. It's probably a horse trailer of some kind. But, alright, look at this. You get a better view down here of what this hike looks like. Just in like a little valley. Water trickling down from the top. Doesn't look like a very long hike either. It's just a little it's actually just looks like just a little short walk. So, but it should be cool. Hopefully not too crowded along the way. Keep our distance from people still. Here's a lower parking lot. Look how busy it is. Well, almost entirely local. Just they're not really leaving Ireland for vacation, so they just go to a lot of local places. No dogs allowed on the hike. Very high-tech signage. There's enough cars driving by that we decided to leave the cats inside the van on this little short hike. We just don't want them to get spooked and run off. They don't mind the sheep, I don't think so much, because we camped next to sheep before and they got really close.
Did you see somebody painting their sheep like pink over there?
Oh,
It's like
just to distinguish the herds maybe. There you go. So much for the high-tech signage. I think this is going to turn out to be an incredibly short and, I guess, family-friendly hike. Baby horse. Bareback. She was riding bareback. Looks like this would have been carved by glaciers millions of years ago, huh? Here's the bottom of the waterfall. How high do we want to go up? Anybody want to go take a bath in there? What if it was a hot spring?
Yeah, I would put my swimsuit.
You would bring your swimsuit?
Yeah.
Not that far, but it's not a hot spring. We can climb up higher if we want, but it's just not, we're not immediately after a big rain, so there's not a ton of water coming down. The best time to come here is actually right after a big storm, big rainstorm. But there's still a little bit of water, and there's enough people going up there that I think we're just gonna chill down here.
It's gonna rain later.
It's gonna rain later today, but I don't think we're gonna come back. Look at Luca's living his best life right now.
Waddle.
Yeah.
You love the water? Is the water your favorite kind of surface?
If you can swim in it.
Don't fall in.
This is like from
Oh, that's pretty cold.
yeah.
Whoa. These ferns everywhere. They don't close when you touch them. They're very stiff.
Where do you find the ones that curl up when you touch them?
I don't know. Not these. These are very stiff ferns.
Like nowhere. These are just 100 feet.
I think maybe you're in his way. Hi. Are you protecting our van for us while we're gone? Meh. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Okay. She said you're welcome. No, don't mention it. Here's the baby. You guys are looking at them. Matt.
Come on. Outside. Toby's like, no. Bye-bye. Come on.
Bye-bye.
Toby's like, no, I'm good. Toby's like, I'm okay. I don't want to get chunked.
They're vegetarians. You won't get chumped.
He's like frozen.
So I started recording about halfway to the waterfall and then back.
Why'd you say this?
So that was a mile and 1.58 mile. So if you add the part that I didn't record, probably about a 2 mile round trip, a mile each way. It was pretty easy. Now we're back. Look at Mama standing with cats on a rock.
Mama's surrounded. She can't escape. Oh, she can escape now.
Doing her Lion King pose. It's now saying the rain starting at 2 o'clock.
Oh, they like the
All right,
spiky
sheep.
plant.
You guys are gonna get rained on for sure.